If we can't save the cutest animal in the world, what hope do we have? What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Koala Gardens. Today's video is all about Bullet. He does some pretty amazing things again. He is so enjoyable to watch. Now, you want to make sure you watch all the way through, because not only do I have one of the new bonuses at the end, but I've got bonuses because I just wanted to give a little bit extra. Koala Gardens is a wildlife sanctuary on private land. Subscribing helps me bring koalas to you, and liking this video helps me bring them to the whole world. I'm lucky enough to live in the koala's backyard with a wild and free colony on the far north coast of New South Wales in Australia. Check out my Patreon options and come over and chat on my public Discord server. You'll find links for these and lots more in the description below. I'm Katrina and I'm passionate about saving koalas. Today's video was processed from several hours of video that was taken as I watched Bullet in the big trees right in front of the house during an entire afternoon. He slept for quite a lot of the early part of the video, and that will end up in one of our lovely relaxation videos, but I've tried to pull out the highlights for you while still keeping enough koala watching in here to be really enjoyable for those who like a bit of good long koala. So he slept here for a long time, and finally, after a few false starts, he woke up and decided it was time to give us something to watch. Fun fact about koalas, they pass scats pretty much constantly. So their scats form into little long oval shaped pellets, and pretty much even while they sleep, scats will just sort of drop out of them. So koalas don't make a concentrated effort to go to a spot and defecate. They simply scat hundreds of scats per day. What they will do is quite often they will pass maybe a dozen or 20 scats over a period of just a minute or two, and then they might not pass anything for another 15 minutes, half an hour maybe, but their digestion works in such a way that it is actually constantly moving along, and so quite often if you leave a video camera watching a koala, you'll see it like this, just scatting away. They're quite firm, and do you know what? They even smell reasonably pleasant because they are pretty much just pure eucalyptus leaf. This spot where Bullet is sitting is actually where he has at times done those amazing acrobatic reach across from one tree to another. And I was pretty sure that maybe that's what he had in mind. You can see him looking, deciding where it is he's going to go, and I was just hoping that I was going to get some really good footage of Bullet moving about. And of course, Bullet never fails to please, does he? It's amazing when you're watching a koala and you have a video camera in your hand and you think you've got everything ready, and then suddenly they're moving and there's branches in the way or leaves in the way, and it's like, oh no, and you're trying to move around and not disturb the koala and not shake the camera all over the place and capture everything on film, and then they just stop and do nothing anyway, and you think, oh, I just don't know where to be to get the best thing all the time. You can see now that he's watching me too, and I'm just actually have now turned my back from him, got the camera facing him and turned my back from him, and am looking the other way to let him know that I'm really not involved in this at all. Do what you want, Bullet, go on. Actually, do what we want and do something really interesting. I love the way that branch that he's sitting on, it's almost like it's been moulded to the shape of a koala's bottom and is just the perfect little sitting spot in the middle of a great big tree. There's actually quite a lot of decision making stuff that's going on in their heads, even when they just seem to be sitting doing nothing much. And we can see that Bullet has actually made a decision and turned around and is going to head upwards in the other direction. We've seen him squeeze past that little spot on the branch before, and now he's got to decide which way to go, and a little leap, and he goes up over the high road and out and across, and choosing which branch because they just keep branching and branching, and he goes out to the front area of the tree to have a feed in there. This tree is a forest red gum, which is a primary food tree for koalas, and this is the tree that's just outside my kitchen window. Well, there's actually two large forest red gums side by side here, and they are both extremely popular, both with colony members and with koalas who are moving through the area at any particular time, which is really lucky because it means that I very often can look outside my kitchen window first thing in the morning when the sun rises and see a koala. Bullet spent a while eating in here, and I ran out of battery and had to race in, change battery, come back out and find him as he was changing position. You can see he's still munching on the leaf that he had, and he's still very focused on getting a good feed here. Absolutely loves those leaves, and he's eating as much as he can. Koalas have to eat a large amount of eucalyptus leaves every single day as they don't have a high calorie content in them. So they have to pretty much stuff themselves as full as they can and then go to sleep to digest their meal. You can see quite clearly here that Bullet is really gripping that branch with both of his feet so that he's free to use his hands to gather the leaf in towards his mouth. He is holding on with one hand, but he can also just let go and use that hand to gather more leaf towards himself. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I've often made comment about how much hard work it actually is for koalas to consume eucalyptus leaves. If you've ever plucked a eucalyptus leaf from a tree and then tried to break it with your fingers, you would know that they're really quite a tough leaf. So the koala has to sit and methodically just grind and grind and grind every single leaf with their back molar teeth. They only take one leaf into their mouth at a time unless they're eating very small tip new growth leaves, and for every leaf it's chewing I don't know how many times, but it's time consuming and it actually takes a lot of energy. Just try and imagine if it took you an hour of sitting and just methodically grinding your food down, you'd be exhausted by the end of it, wouldn't you? Well, that's how it is for a koala. Except you need to add the fact that they're doing it up in the treetops and the wind might be blowing, and in between courses they might get up and move across branches and even be climbing and leaping about. So every meal actually consumes a lot of calories, as well as they're trying to take calories in. Now, in between some courses, it's time to stop, have a scratch and a bit of a grooming session. Koalas do a lot of grooming, and in order to groom their fur, it is a scratching motion. He's actually scratching his left shoulder with his left back leg, and we can't quite see that leg at the moment, but I can tell by his posture that that's what he's doing. And just have a look now. How supple are these koalas, the way they can reach around behind themselves and reach up with their feet. You can see he's getting himself comfortable, propped up, and really need to scratch that itch on the very lower back. You know that spot that's really hard to reach? Bullet can reach it. Now we're back to a bit of a decision time. Am I going to stop now and rest, or where should I go to have the next course of this meal that I need? Looks like he's made his mind up. And hey, Bullet, hang on, you're supposed to go down in reverse, mate. It's rare that I see a koala go down head first. But of course, he's really just getting himself positioned for a good couple of leaps across once he's had the right amount of scratching done. Here he goes. And onwards and upwards, and we get to get a real feeling for just how big this tree is as we watch him just march on up through to the top branches. It would appear the meal is still far from over, and Bullet is now settling himself in to grind his way through more leaf higher up in the treetops. From this angle we can see just how fit a koala needs to be. And I must say that something that really occurred to me when I was editing this video here is just how awesome wild koalas are. Now, it can be really cute to see a bit of video of a captive koala where they're sitting just in a log frame and they've got some leaf in a pot in front of them and they're stuffing their mouth full, and somebody's got a camera very close to them, and it's like, oh, cute. And it is cute, don't get me wrong, it is cute. But look at the awesomeness of what a koala really is. Those captive koalas are really, just living such a sad life compared to koalas that are lucky enough to live out in the wild where, okay, that might be harder work up there, but he's getting to make his own decisions, and he is so fit and so strong for living a wild life. I just love it. Now this is really cool. Oh, it's so frustrating that there's so much leaf in the way, but look at him standing. Look at him standing up on that little thin bits of branch right up high in the treetops to reach the exact leaf that he wants to eat. Of all the leaf on that tree, he goes up into the top and stands there in the wind, reaching for the ones that he definitely wants. Honestly, I could pretty much watch Bullet and any of the other koalas, but Bullet just gets my attention. I could pretty much just watch him all day long if I had the luxury of being able to do that. Eventually, he finished his meal and found himself a spot in the tree that felt quite good and comfortable to him, and he settled in to sleep. The wind actually was becoming quite strong, but you can see that Bullet feels completely safe and stable sleeping there. That's the koala way. And you know what? You have almost made it through to the end of the video. So would you take a moment to make sure you've liked the video and write in the comments below, "Back to sleep, Bullet." Thanks so much for watching. Now let's have our bonus. I've got extra bonus for you this time because I got so excited working on editing some of the images of Bullet, I just couldn't stop. I use a few different image manipulation software packages and I often use them consecutively. So I've actually got for you 5 variations of edits I did on a photo during this video sequence. So I'd love you to write in the comments below which one you like the best. So we've got number 1, urban. Then number 2, carnation. Number 3 is a black and white. Number 4 is a HDR version. And finally, number 5, spring. I hope you enjoy all of them. I spent a long time creating them. I hope you had as great a time with Bullet as what I had. Don't forget, check out the Patreon options and join the free Discord server and talk koalas with lots of other like-minded people. More video coming soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for visiting Koala Gardens. Did you hit the like button? Now before you go, there's lots more great video to see, and make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell.